Hello, everyone. Today's devotional is going to be called Button Pushers. Uh, I struggle with button pushers. I think we all do to some extent. There's just certain people that, well, let's start with prayer. Let's start with the Bible. Proverbs 26:4 says, "Do not answer a fool according to his folly, or you yourself will be just like him." One of the phrases that resonates with me uh, in the last year is, your response is your responsibility. Every once in a while, or perhaps on a regular person, there's a person or persons who know how to push your buttons. They know exactly which ones to press, and your flesh is burning with the desire to right the wrong. Jesus stepped over these kinds of traps. He's our prime example. He was very much in the spotlight during his brief ministry, and he had a target on his head. Besides, the Pharisees loved to try and trap him, especially in front of onlookers. But what did Jesus do when prodded? Uh, he said scripture. He laid down knowledge and truth on the Pharisees. They weren't looking for answers, but instead actually wanted to harm him. So there are battles we believers fight. We battle not just external evil and sin, but that within, and we have a choice in how to respond with grace and truth, or compounding sin upon sin. We do not have to be silenced or avoid our provocateurs. We can wait till the time is right and speak the truth. And when we do that, we carry God's light into enveloping darkness. We never ever have to stoop and stumble to the level of those who are pushing our buttons. Instead, when they throw fire at us, we are water. Water douses fuel. Water doesn't fuel a fire, it puts it out. So, how do we disarm button pushers? Well, calculate the cost of your anger. Before you allow yourself to get mad, calculate what you're going to lose. What is the cost of your anger? You're likely to get angry when someone is pushing your buttons. If you realize there's always a price tag for getting angry back, the Bible is very, very specific about uncontrolled anger. Let me show you some examples of this. Proverbs 29:22 says, "An angry person starts fights, and a hot-tempered person commits all kinds of sin." I find I always lose when I lose my temper. You can lose respect, you can lose love of your family, you can lose a job, you can alienate your children. How many people have been alienated from a boyfriend, girlfriend, a husband or wife or friend because somebody lost their cool? Anger destroys relationships faster than anything else. Proverbs 14:29 says, "People with understanding control their anger. A hot temper shows great foolishness." Look past their words and see their pain. Oftentimes, when I am confronted by a person who is behaving in a provoking manner, I do realize that something is causing their pain, and I don't have to respond to what they're trying to provoke out of me. It's like they're in pain, and they want me to be in pain. So sometimes we have to look at why they're saying it and not what they're saying. Proverbs 19:11 says, "Sensible people control their temper. They earn respect by overlooking wrongs." I fall short on this sometimes, and I regret it. I've said this many times, hurt people hurt people. When someone is hurting you, it's because they've been hurt, and that's why they're still hurting. When someone is rude, bitter, unkind, sarcastic, mean-spirited, arrogant, or attacking, they are shouting with all of their behaviors, "I need a massive dose of love. I don't feel loved. I do not feel secure because secure, loved people wouldn't act that way to begin with. So think before reacting. When someone starts to push your buttons and they want to irritate you, stop and think before you react. Think before you speak. Anger control is largely a matter of mouth control. Don't respond impulsively. Proverbs 13:16 says, wise people think before they act, fools don't. Proverbs 29:11 says, fools vent their anger, but the wise quietly hold it back. What people don't realize is that anger is contagious. You can catch it, so you have to slow it down. I don't know if you've noticed this, but when you get loud, others get loud. When others get loud, you get loud. Proverbs 15:1 says, a gentle answer deflects anger, but harsh words make tempers flare. And lastly, ask God for help. Take control of what I say, O Lord, and guard my lips. Psalm 141, verse 3. That's a great verse to put in your mind so that when you start to get angry, you can remember this verse. The key is to be filled with God's Spirit. Galatians 5:22 says, the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. That's the fruit of God's Spirit on our lives. I found that when I'm filled with myself, when I'm filled with me, almost anything can upset me. But if I'm filled with God's Spirit, almost nothing will upset me because I'm filled with His love, His joy, and His peace. So how do I get filled with God's Spirit exactly? Don't make it too complicated. You have to depend on God instead of depending on yourself. Pray that very simple 2-word prayer. Help me. Help me, God. I'm depending on you. I'm not depending on myself. As you do that, you'll find, as you ask God for help, that He will fill you with the Spirit. The 3 things that cause anger, Jesus can heal: hurt, frustration, and fear. Jesus can heal your hurting heart with His love. He can replace your frustration with His peace. And He can replace your insecure heart with His power. Love you, church.